If you feel stuck right now, like you're just going through the motions, like every day is just a copy-paste version of the last one, you're not alone. I know that place. I've lived there. You wake up tired even after sleeping. You look in the mirror and think, what happened to me? You feel like something's missing, but you can't explain what. And when you try to change, it's like your brain fights you every step of the way. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you, because I want to tell you something most people won't say out loud. You don't need to fix your life all at once. You just need to rewire your mind, one thought at a time. 7 days might not sound like a lot, but for me it was the beginning of everything. I was burnt out, overwhelmed, and honestly I was starting to believe that maybe this was just how life was going to be. Work, phone, sleep, repeat. I wasn't chasing dreams, I was chasing deadlines. I wasn't living, I was reacting. And then one day, I had this moment. It wasn't dramatic. There was no lightning bolt. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, phone in hand, doom scrolling for the 5th time that morning. And I just thought, this can't be it. Not the life I wanted, not the person I wanted to be. That was the first time I asked, what if I could rewire my brain and take back control? So I gave myself 7 days, not to fix everything, but to start. Day 1, break the cycle. The first day wasn't about adding new habits. It was about removing one toxic pattern, autopilot. I started by doing one thing. I turned off all notifications on my phone, every single one. No buzz, no banners, no red dots begging for attention. That first day felt strange, almost too quiet. But then I realized every time I used to reach for my phone without thinking, that was my brain begging for a dopamine hit. I wasn't bored, I was addicted to noise. So day 1 was about awareness. Noticing what triggers me, noticing how often I reach for distraction, and most of all, realizing that my habits weren't serving me. They were controlling me. Day 2, morning reboot. On day 2, I changed how I started my morning. No phone, no news, no noise. Just me, a notebook, and 10 minutes of silence. I wrote down 3 things, what I'm grateful for. One thing I want to focus on today, one thought that's been bothering me. That last one, that's the secret. By naming the thought, I stopped letting it live rent-free in my head. That simple shift made me feel lighter, more focused. Instead of absorbing chaos, I started choosing clarity. It didn't feel like a big deal that day, but looking back, it changed the entire direction of my week. Day 3, rewire the self-talk. Day 3 hit me hard because I started paying attention to the way I talked to myself. Every time I made a mistake, I caught myself saying things like, "You're such an idiot. You never get it right. You're so lazy." And I thought, if someone else said that to me every day, I'd cut them out of my life. So why was I saying it to myself? That day I made a rule. If I wouldn't say it to a friend, I don't say it to myself. Instead of, "I can't do this," I started saying, "I don't know how yet, but I'm willing to try." That one word, yet, it changed everything. It turned criticism into curiosity. And that's how you rewire your beliefs. Day 4, move the body, clear the mind. By day 4, I realized that my body was carrying stress my mind hadn't processed, so I moved. Not to lose weight, not to look a certain way, but to feel alive again. I went for a long walk, no headphones, no podcasts, just the sound of my breath and my steps. And something strange happened. The more I moved, the clearer I felt. The stress started to melt. The answers started to come. Motion is emotion. When you move your body, you move stuck energy. That walk wasn't exercise, it was therapy. Day 5, cut the noise. By day 5, I realized something strange. Most of my anxiety wasn't coming from my life. It was coming from other people's lives. Social media, news headlines, endlessly scrolling through opinions, arguments, and negativity. And here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Your brain is not built to handle 1,000 people's problems at once. It's no wonder we feel overwhelmed. So for one day, I decided to cut the noise. No social media, no news apps, just my life, right in front of me. And the result? My mind felt spacious. I could hear myself think again. It was like turning down the static and finally tuning into my own voice. Day 6, visualize the person I want to become. I used to think visualization was cheesy, but on day 6, I sat down, closed my eyes, and imagined the version of me I want to become. I didn't just picture the clothes or the house or the lifestyle. I imagined how that version of me would think. How would they walk into a room? How would they handle stress? What would they believe about themselves? And then I wrote one thing. If I want to become that person, I have to start acting like them now. So I started making micro decisions based on that future self. Would they scroll for an hour? Nope. Would they snooze the alarm? Probably not. Would they waste a day worrying about what someone else thinks? Definitely not. That's how change happens. Not all at once, but by acting like the person you want to become until you become them. Day 7, redefining success. On day 7, something clicked. I realized I'd spent years chasing the wrong version of success, the kind that's based on numbers, followers, likes, validation. I was constantly trying to achieve my way into feeling worthy. But after everything I'd done this week, the silence, the walks, the journaling, the mindset shifts, I asked myself a different question. What if success is simply waking up at peace with yourself? Not needing anyone to clap for you, not needing every box checked, just being proud of how you're showing up. That day, I stopped trying to impress anyone, and I started trying to align instead. Align with who I want to be, how I want to feel, what I want to give to the world. That's real success. A week isn't the end. It's the start. After 7 days, my life wasn't perfect. I still had challenges, I still made mistakes, but my mind was different, clearer, quieter, more powerful. Because for the first time in a long time, I felt in control, not of the world, but of myself. And that's the most important kind of power there is. From self-judgment to self-leadership. I want you to stop judging yourself for where you are and start leading yourself toward where you want to be. Because deep down, you already know what needs to change. You don't need more information. You need permission to believe again, to try again, to dream again. And that belief? It starts with the tiniest decision. I'm willing to try. That's it. Say it with me right now. I'm willing to try. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the next right step. The real challenge. I know self-improvement can feel overwhelming. There are a million voices online telling you what to do. Wake up at 5 a.m. Do cold showers. Read 12 books a month. And sure, those things might help. But the real challenge? The one that matters? Being kind to yourself while you grow. Holding yourself accountable. Without tearing yourself down. Pushing forward. Without losing your peace. That's the kind of growth that lasts. So that's the kind of change that sticks. The 7-day challenge for you. So here's my challenge to you. Give yourself 7 days, not to fix everything, not to become perfect, but to simply shift the way you show up. Pick one of the things I shared in this video. Silence the noise. Start your day with intention, catch your self-talk, take that walk, visualize who you want to become, redefine your version of success. Choose one and do it for 7 days straight. Track how you feel, notice what changes, write it down, and then come back and tell me your story. Because if this video reaches you, it's not by accident. It's a sign that something in you is ready to rise, to grow, to evolve. If this message spoke to you, if any part of you feels even 1% more hopeful, then I ask you, don't keep this to yourself. Share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more videos like this, because this isn't just a channel. This is a movement, a place for people who are tired of just existing and are ready to live fully. You don't need to wait until next week or next year. You can start becoming the person you were meant to be today, and it all starts with one choice. Rewire your mind and the rest will follow.